Did you know that entire armies in Africa were composed solely of women? History books often overlook them, but today we uncover the extraordinary stories of African women warriors who challenged empires and redefined power. These are not myths or legends, but documented accounts of queens, leaders, and soldiers who shaped the course of African history. We begin our journey in the ancient kingdom of Kush in present-day Sudan and southern Egypt. Here, around 40 BC, ruled Kandake Amanirenas, a queen whose name echoes through the ages. When the Roman Empire, fresh from conquering Egypt, cast its gaze southward towards Nubia, they met an unexpected and formidable foe. Amanirenas led the Kushite armies against the Roman legions. Classical sources tell of bold Kushite raids into Roman-held territory, attacking Syene, now Aswan, Folai, and Elephantine. This was not a mere border skirmish, it was a full-scale conflict against one of the greatest empires the world has ever known. Amanirenas's military prowess and the fierce resistance of her troops eventually forced Rome to negotiate a peace treaty, a rare victory for an African kingdom against the expanding Roman Empire. Her leadership cemented Kush's independence and ensured its survival for centuries. Centuries later, on the other side of the continent, another queen rose to prominence in the face of colonial aggression. In present-day Angola, Queen Nzinga band of Ndongo and Matamba stood defiant against the encroaching Portuguese. Born in 1583, Nzinga witnessed firsthand the brutality of the slave trade and the relentless Portuguese expansion. Ascending to the throne of Ndongo in 1624 after the death of her brother Ngola Mbandi, she inherited a kingdom under immense pressure. Nzinga proved to be a master strategist and diplomat. She skillfully negotiated with the Portuguese while simultaneously forging alliances with other African kingdoms to resist their advance. When diplomacy failed, she turned to guerrilla warfare, leading her troops in daring raids against Portuguese settlements and slave trading posts. Her military acumen and unwavering commitment to her people made her a symbol of resistance against colonial oppression. Nzinga's struggle lasted for decades, and she continued to fight until her death in 1663, leaving behind a legacy of courage and defiance that continues to inspire generations of Angolans. Moving westward to present-day Ghana, we encounter Asantewaa, Queen Mother of Ejisu in the Asante Empire. In 1900, when the British Governor-General demanded the surrender of the golden stool, the sacred symbol of Asante sovereignty, male leaders hesitated, fearing the might of the British Empire. But Asantewaa would not yield. She famously declared, "If you, the men of Asante, will not go forward, then we, the women, will. I shall call upon my fellow women. We will fight the white men. We will fight till the last of us falls in the battlefields." Her words ignited the War of the Golden Stool, a fierce uprising against British colonial rule. Asantewaa mobilized the Asante people, leading them in battle against the better-equipped British forces. Although the rebellion was ultimately unsuccessful, Asantewaa's courage and leadership became a symbol of Asante resistance and a testament to the power of women in the face of oppression. She was captured and exiled to the Seychelles in 1901, where she died 2 decades later. But her legacy lived on, inspiring future generations of Ghanaians to fight for their independence. Perhaps one of the most iconic examples of African women warriors is the Dahomey women warriors, also known as the Agoji or Mino. These formidable female soldiers served in the kingdom of Dahomey, in present-day Benin, for centuries. Known to Europeans as the Dahomey Amazons, these women were far more than just fighters. They were an elite, state-supported military institution. Recruited from across Dahomey, the Agoji underwent rigorous training, honing their skills in combat, strategy, and discipline. They were armed with muskets, machetes, and a fierce determination to defend their kingdom. Serving as the king's protectors, they also participated in major military campaigns, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. At their peak in the 19th century, the Agoji numbered several thousand, forming a formidable force that played a crucial role in Dahomey's military successes. Beyond their martial prowess, the Dahomey women warriors held a unique social position, often celibate and closely tied to the royal court. Their existence challenged European assumptions about gender roles and demonstrated the military capabilities of women. Our journey continues to present-day Nigeria, to the Hausa kingdom of Zozo, where Queen Amina reigned in the late 16th century. Amina is celebrated as a warrior queen who expanded Zozo's territory through military conquests. She is credited with building fortified walls around the city and strengthening its defenses, transforming Zozo into a major center of trade and power. While details of her life are intertwined with legend, Amina's legacy as a powerful and influential ruler is undeniable. Her military achievements and her dedication to her kingdom have made her a legendary figure in Hausa history. Crossing the Atlantic, we encounter Nani of the Maroons in Jamaica, another example of African women's military leadership. Nani, an escaped enslaved woman, led the Windward Maroons in their resistance against British colonial authority in the early 18th century. Her knowledge of the Jamaican terrain and her mastery of guerrilla warfare made her a formidable opponent. Nani established Maroon communities in the mountainous interior of Jamaica, providing refuge for escaped slaves and launching raids against British plantations. Her courage, strategic brilliance, and unwavering commitment to her people made her a legendary figure in Jamaican history. Finally, we travel to present-day Zimbabwe, where Nihanda Chawe Nekasikana, a spirit medium of the Shona people, led the resistance against British South Africa Company rule during the First Kimurenga in the late 19th century. Nihanda's spiritual authority and her unwavering commitment to her people made her a powerful symbol of anti-colonial struggle. She inspired her followers to resist British occupation, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Captured and executed by the British in 1898, Nihanda became a martyr for the cause of Zimbabwean independence. Her last words, "My bones shall rise again," became a rallying cry for future generations of freedom fighters. The stories of Amanirenas, Nzinga, Asantewaa, the Dahomey women warriors, Amina, Nani, and Nihanda are just a few examples of the many African women who defied expectations and challenged empires. They demonstrate that women have always played a vital role in African history, not only as mothers and wives, but also as leaders, warriors, and defenders of their people. Their stories remind us of the importance of challenging stereotypes, reclaiming hidden histories, and celebrating the diverse and powerful contributions of women to the world. These African women warriors were not rare anomalies, but part of a broader historical pattern of women exercising military and political power across the African continent. They challenge simplistic narratives of African societies as uniformly patriarchal, revealing the complexity and diversity of gender roles in African history. Their legacies continue to inspire movements for women's empowerment and national pride across Africa today.